where we can start doing right-of-way work as far as where we're going to put the rings. And if you want to find out about this, I can send you, the link is on our commission webpage, which you can go through the actual plan. You can look at the overall plan for the whole county, which involves 14 different redundant rings that cover the whole county. So we've already got the legal support to start going out and looking at the right-of-ways and doing all that legwork. To do the legwork to set up a countywide broadband authority that's going to actually manage this middle mile. And then to also do a lot of the work with the ISPs, because the concept is we're going to build a countywide middle mile network, which is going to cover the whole county. And then we're going to negotiate with ISPs to connect to that. So what we're going to be doing is all ISPs will be able to provide the same level of service because they'll all be connecting to the same middle mile. So what that's going to do is drive down the cost and drive up the service for all of our citizens. So we're in the process of working that through. We got an engineering contract which will be starting in the next 2 weeks, which will start putting together the construction packages for the expansion. And we also have a grant process going on at the same time where we have consultants that are constantly going out and looking at how we can develop the capital stack to fund this. We have ARPA dollars that are available that will cover about a third of the initial cost of the middle mile, but we're still looking for those other dollars that we can get for other areas, and we're going to do that ring by ring across the whole county.
Is that our time sign? Okay. Charles?
Okay, so I know I'm probably not as qualified as Sean here as far as broadband goes. However, it's a few flaws that I've noticed. Before I name those, I'm probably going to explain why Sean would be better at that, and I'd be better at the next two questions. You see, Sean, as he said, has already started something, and I've always believed it's better to finish something you've already started. I'm not trying to say you shouldn't elect me, but I will say that I don't know how far he is into it, but I'm sure he's pretty close to being done with broadband, as far as expansion as it goes. But anyways, the flaws, as previously mentioned, include those who don't have devices to begin with, those who are too poor to have devices, and those who just, broadband goes for Wi-Fi, right? Not data. So I assume that, and Wi-Fi tends to be usually stationary and limited to those with passwords. Now, as I said before, I'm not the most qualified to explain broadband. It is definitely his area of expertise, though if I do get into it, I will definitely try my best to maintain what he has started, so that way I or someone else may be able to complete it. Should it be within my capacity to make it better, I would. And so I guess should I start on me in the next question, or
The second question will be starting with you, Charles. Please explain how the commission raises and spends our tax dollars. What determinations are considered when setting levy rates, and what factors determine where funds are allocated?
Now, I've had a lot of time to think about this, and I've been doing some research, and it seems, our revenue actually comes from a number of places, but not so much taxes apparently. Like, we don't have a sales tax in the county. We do have in the state. All we have in the county as far as taxes goes is 0.52%. Is it 52 or 54? I'm sure Keith would know. That's the 0.52% of property tax. And based on a report from 2017 to 2018 fiscal year from the county commission, I read over it, and it looked like there was more coming from like other funds than just taxes, and that seems like, I was looking at it, and it seemed like an adequate amount of money compared to the expenditures. You also have to ask about expenditures?
Yes. What determinations are considered when setting levy rates and what factors determine how funds are allocated?
Oh, yes. So, as far as what the factors, I'd say, well, I'm not sure what the factors are right now as far as what other people decided, but I figured if it were up to me, I'd probably do some careful calculations to where the money comes from and how much we actually need to, as far as expenditures. And then and in general, Republicans are for like low spending, low taxes. So that's probably good enough with me. As far as the factors go, I think it's just basic economics, really. It's basic finances. When it comes to determining factors, I mean, everyone here pays taxes, right? Everybody has an income. I'm sure that the system, the very basic idea of the system is not very different, I'd imagine. So yeah, I guess I'm done.
Sean?
Thank you, Charles. Well, the first thing that we do whenever we go about determining our budget and setting our levy rate for each year is a fundamental change that we've done in the past 5 years as far as looking at budgets. The budget process, 1 month into my first year, I was in charge of all budgeting for the county. Everything was turned over to me, and basically I created a fundamental change in how we do budgeting, and it caused a little bit of a stir in a lot of our constitutional offices because they never was questioned before as far as what they were spending and where they were spending it and how they were spending it. But initially what I did was we started looking at things from a line item perspective. What they used to do was come in and say, okay, you had $1 million last year, $1,100,000 this year, be fine, and everybody's happy. But I started